All right, we're back. Section 2, or part 2 of Chris from Shoreline. This is awesome. Getting to talk to a guy like this, like before I got to fine paint certification, and I mean I saw him talk the first time, so intimidated, like that guy's on another level. But to see and hear what it's like to be doing this type of scale is very impressive, and you just sort of see, like he said, it's not rocket science. Here we go. Yeah, and the Italian Godfather over here. That's what they're calling you. All right, let's talk a little bit about Hollow Neck Brilliant.
Sure.
And a gloss job.
Mm-hmm.
As much as you want to share, because your processes are insane.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's a huge pain in the ass. You know, it's not all. I know our pictures look great, and it's extremely difficult. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's not. We have it down. You need to get yourself an excellent taper. Excellent skim coat guy. You don't have a great skim coat guy, you're doomed. You'll never get the finish right. That's really what it's all about. I mean, if you know how to lay alkyd down from a brush, then you should be all right. Spraying it's a whole different animal, as you can attest to. But yeah, I mean, everything's in that skim coat. If you don't have that skim coat down right, you're sanding down right, you'll just never achieve it.
So you guys do mostly drywall, right? There's not much painted plaster in your area.
Yeah, we get some like plaster molds and stuff like that where, it's plaster, but most of it's...
In my world, like in Rhode Island and Boston, we only paint drywall and high rises. Everything else is blue board with a plaster skim on the thing.
Imperial board, imperial skim coat, yeah. No, we have that on high end stuff though.
Yeah. So
majority of stuff is 5/8 drywall skimmed.
So your skim guy comes in, you're skimming the surface a few times?
Yeah, multiple times.
Okay. Multiple skim coats, sand between coats.
Mm-hmm.
Because we need not just smooth, flat and smooth. That's the trick, right?
Correct. Yeah.
The hard part is the flat and smooth part. From that, what's next? You have,
it depends. We want to say a spray job, so we're going to come in there. Everything's skimmed, it's ready to go. It's sanded out to 400, and we're going to spray.
5 though, right?
Say it again.
It's not fair to call that a level 5. That's level 6.
I mean, listen, that whole USG scale, I don't even listen to it.
Yeah.
Architect calls for level 5. They don't even know what that is. What is that? Well, that's 3 skim coats. Okay. If that's what you want to call a true finish, a true perfect finish is 3 skim coats. Sure. It's, that would be a level 5. Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm doing a job right now. I think we're on 8th skim coat.
And we're not talking about just at the tape seam.
We're talking full troweled walls.
Full troweled walls. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your preferred? What do you use on that? Are you blue compound?
We're using a lot of red top.
Red top.
Yeah, we're using a lot of red top. Red top or black top.
Okay. And you're rolling it on, troweling it down, spraying it on. How do you
roll and trowel?
Roll.
Which, if you don't know what you're doing, is a disaster.
I did it. It was the worst thing ever.
I mean, listen, we got it down. My guys can skin quick. I got some really good tapers. Yeah.
You guys should all watch intently your posts, because what happens on your projects is phenomenal. Just the craftsmanship that your guys are that are able to perform is just like next level stuff. With 4 guys shoulder to shoulder to shoulder, all performing at a high level.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Absolutely.
So you're rolling and full skimming. The next step is what?
Oil prime.
Oil primer.
Yeah.
fine paint severe oil primer, obviously.
Correct.
How many coats of that?
Depends on the color. Depends on how many skim coats we did. Usually at least want to get 2 on there. Get 2 really good coats of primer on there. Turn the lights on, so see what you got. From there, you're going probably, 6, 8, 12, 15, 2, 3,000. See what you got there. A lot of times we'll re-prime it again. We got a little scratches here, there. We're going to fill those, and then we're going to re-prime everything from there. And then we're getting that substrate as smooth as we possibly can. We want to spray the least amount of Holland Brilliant that we can. So, we're just going to continue to build up that primer. I know some jobs I've done 9, 10 coats of primer.
Yeah, and I'm a huge fan of that process. I learned that from you. We use that a lot, building our substrate with primer. It's very effective. How do you guys spray it?
Kremlin, only Kremlin.
Yeah,
we're only using Kremlin. Yeah, we've sprayed brushing putty. We've tried everything. We've done everything. We're really not getting into Swedish putty anymore at all. We're basically not using that product on walls or ceilings ever anymore. We used to a lot, but it's just too time consuming. I can't charge what I need to start traveling Swedish putties. But we've sprayed brushing putty a bunch. I kind of like that move.
Yeah.
It just takes forever to dry. But yeah, that's basically our standard method, multiple skim coats, multiple prime coats, sanding, and then the least amount of Holland Brilliant.
Are you using like a Mark V or some massive sprayer to spray?
1095, the brushing putty. We get it through.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Take the filter out.
Yeah.
You still have to buy it in gallons though, right?
Yeah.
That is nuts. I do at some point. I do want to spray some brushing putty. I'm gonna have to.
It's not. Yeah, if you spray Tough Hide, it's really not that much different than spraying Tough Hide, and we spray Tough Hide at 1095s, a lot. So,
what is Tough Hide? And tell us about that. We don't use, but
yeah, we use a lot of Tough Hide on new construction. That's basically our first piss coat. It's a USG product. It's supposed to give you a level 5 finish. Whatever, it doesn't. It's basically, if you ever use First Coat, it's like First Coat's big brother. You got to spray it evenly, so you definitely got to know what you're doing with it. But you can build that substrate out pretty good on sheetrock walls. So if the job is not called for a skim coat, and we're at least doing Tough Hide. So if we're not skimming the walls, we're at least Tough Hiding the walls.
Or more like joint compound you're spraying.
Yeah, it's almost like a watered down. It's almost like a watered down compound is basically what it is. It's a great product. I get a great price on it. So we use it as basically our normal primer. But yeah.
Okay. So you've got the perfect surface perfectly smooth and flat. Do you break down your enclosure, set up a new one to keep the dust out? How do you keep the dust out?
So I'll be the first one to tell you, you're never going to have a dust-free finish when you're done. Unless you're like Zach over there with these crazy ideas with boots. But on an on-site job, man, you're never going to not have dust in that finish.
That's in the sales process that you let them know.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Unless we're talking about perfection and we're talking about high dollar numbers, then I don't need to do it because we're going to wet sand and, buff that substrate. But, it's definitely in the sales process. You're going to have a little bit of dust, now sometimes the clients don't even notice it. I see it, you see it, but sometimes the clients don't even notice it. But yeah, listen, it's there's really no secret to it. It's a very clean atmosphere, negative air machine setup, intake air, get the air out. It's nothing that, I don't think any high-end contractor, painting contractor, doesn't know. You got to keep it clean, man. Festool.
Yeah. So tell us about plaster. Have you guys always been doing this kind of plaster work?
Yeah, always. Yeah, definitely. you know, there's some companies around me that just specialize in plaster. You know, they got like 10, 15 man crews, and you know, and they print it in the city. I mean, they're making big bucks. You know, it's not every job. You know, we have a beautiful job coming up in Westchester, New York. It's an art pavilion. It's gorgeous. I mean, gorgeous place. It's all glass. We have a beautiful plaster job coming up there. Do a lot of plaster in Manhattan, you know, and then we mess around with like Portola paints. We like some of their products. We like their Roman clay. We like their lime wash. A lot of people don't know about that product. You should check them out. They're out of LA, two brothers. Really cool company. I really like their products. They have the best metallic, in my opinion. There's nobody that makes a better metallic than them. Yeah, I mean, so we get into the specialty finishes. I mean, it's, you know, it's rewarding. You know, it's good money. Yeah, and we're good at it.
So mostly like Venetian plaster type of stuff.
Yeah, Venetian plaster, matted plaster, high polish plaster. You know, pretty much, you know, anything. You know, pretty much any plaster. We're doing a lot of cement finishes. You know, Romo Bio makes a sick bio cement. We really like. Rings brought them in, so we've been trying to support them a little bit. Moed makes a good cement finish too. You know, and then we use a lot of Firenze. You know, we use a lot of Mamarino. They have a place in Miami and Queens. So we use a lot of that, their products.
Yeah, I definitely want to get into that a little more. We're doing a metal project down in DC where we're troweling on the metal.
Love it. Yeah. You know that we haven't got into that. You know, it's just definitely something I would look at though. I think it's a pretty cool finish. My head faux guy would kill me though if I started selling more finishes, because he's pretty jam packed as it is.
Yeah. So you have a dedicated crew to the faux stuff.
Pretty much. I mean, you know, they can pretty much do everything. You know, so if we're not doing plaster work, you know, they can brush, Holland lac, or, you know, whatever. But yeah, we have certain guys that, you know, not my whole crew can pull out finishes like that.
Yeah. Any tips, or like, how are you able to put so many people on one site and have it be efficient? Like,
yeah, I mean, you know, I think everyone has a job to do, you know, so if we're prepping trim on a, you know, let's just call it a 10,000 square foot house, and we have, you know, third and second floor, you know, 15 guys prepping that trim, you know, they're not going to even finish in, you know, in a couple of days. So, you know, I mean, it's just going to take you more time. So, you know, on our prep crews, you know, we want to blitz the prep phase of it. You know, I also feel with more guys, less things get missed, you know, so we have one guy always behind everybody checking, you know. I think they work better as a team. You have two guys or four guys in a massive house like that, they get lost quick, you know. So that's kind of my thought process on it.
are your guys, do they all have their own kits that they show up with as far as?
Absolutely. Yeah. Spatulas, putty knives, brushes. All my guys have their own stuff.
Yeah.
It's theirs, you know. We don't get into that.
They have,
Say that again.
do you have like a list of things that they're supposed to have?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
All right, let's talk about Cedar Shake roof coating a little bit.
Sure. Love it.
You guys are washing a job for me tomorrow, I believe.
Yes, we are.
And I'm going to be recording that and watching that. And so for people who don't know, what is Cedar Shake roof coating to start, I guess?
Yeah, so we have a division called Cedar Roof Coatings. All we do is wash and preserve cedar roofs. Most of the higher end homes here have cedar roofs, and people don't maintain them. You know, an average cedar roof you don't maintain, you know, it starts looking, you know, like cedar not touched, and you know, you start you know, it starts deteriorating. So but basically what we do is we wash with a almost like a hydrogen peroxide solution. Bubbles up the cedar, organically cleans it, not going to harm plants or, you know, lawns or anything like that. You know, no bleach, nothing like that. You know, soak the product on, you know, really let the product do the work. You know, you don't want to get a lot of pressure on these roofs. You know, let that sit, and then we put you know, high solids oil on it.
And you guys are traversing these massive homes without lifts. You're belaying and like you're mountain climbing these.
So yeah, I mean, we basically treat it like a tree company. So we're harnessed and ropes. You know, I've tried to do this every way. You know, you really got to get the right crew to do it this way. So, you know, the crew that's been with me has been doing this about 10 years. And, you know, they're excellent at it. You know, it's what they do, you know, and they are some of my best painters also. So when roof time comes, we lose like, you know, 6 excellent painters, you know. But yeah, it's all harness and ropes.
Yeah.
That's it.
How did you, what was, like, what did that look like? The first time you were like.
So my dad always used to do cedar roofs with ladders and ladder hooks. And it was, I always used to watch it, be like, that's so inefficient. You know, like that makes no sense. Like, what are you doing? You know, and yeah, I mean, it was just why, I mean, you could easily harness and rope yourself, and traverse the roof. And, you know, it's the safest way, in my opinion.
Where do you
yeah. We tie off to, like, you know, massive oak trees in the back of the house, or, you know, sometimes we'll tie off to the, you know, the chassis of our truck, you know, so it's the front, you know, but yeah, massive oak trees, and, you know, you got to know how to tie a knot. I can tell you that.
So that's what I'm so curious about. The first time someone was like, or you came up with the idea, or however that happened, of like, oh, we'll just put ropes up. What did you do so that you felt like you weren't going to risk your people's lives and say, hey, go up there on that massive 30-foot roof and start walking around with a rope to hold you? Like,
you know, it's a good question, man. I don't even remember how that happened, but I really don't. I don't remember how it happened. You know, it looks, you know, from what I can remember, it's pretty, you know, the guys obviously aren't scared, number one. You know, you can't be scared, you know, going on a 6-story roof. But no, I mean, I mean, they got it down. It's, I mean, they're not going to fall off the roof harnessed and roped in. It's just, you know, it's not going to happen.
But like, who, this is just such a Chris thing. We'll just do it. Like, yeah. I wouldn't know the first thing about ropes and knots, and not nearly enough that I would feel comfortable up on a roof.
You'll see it tomorrow.
I know. I did it before, last time. You did a roof for us last time.
Yeah. Were you shocked?
We're going to show it because I didn't get to record the last one. We're going to document this so people can just see.
Yeah.
I've done some roofs, and we've always done it off of a lift, or we did one roof.
Right. When I called you one day, I saw you on a lift, and I said, what are you doing?
Yeah, we rented a $5,000 freaking lift.
Yeah.
Made big tracks in the backyard so that we could do this roof.
Yeah.
I watched you guys do that roof. It was insane. So now I need to see, like, okay, where are they tying off? How is the knot system working? I'm probably still going to have to, like, get a mountain climber out to, like,
you need a tree guy. You just need a tree guy.
A tree guy?
Yeah.
Okay. It's insane. So when you're washing these things, tell me about this rig, because I called you to be like, yeah, you know, I think I'm going to get a power washing rig.
Yeah.
And then you, like, made me want to cry.
Yeah. How much? So yeah, so how I know this is from my detail business. I also had mobile trucks in South Florida going out to people's homes and offices and stuff like that. So we built, you know, basically mobile car washes on the flatbeds of F-150s. So, you know, water tank, you know, pressure cleaner, you know, the whole thing, you know, hose, retractable hose reels. So we do a lot of washing for roofs, houses. I mean, we're washing every day. So I said, you know, how we're washing is so inefficient, you know? So basically I took the same method I had. I bought F-350 flatbeds, you know, and, you know, built my own pressure cleaning rigs, you know? So we have 1,000 gallons of water, and, between 2 trucks, and, you know, it's fully plumbed and piped in. One of our trucks has 4 washers. One of our trucks has 2 washers, plus you can run 2 washers off of, hot and cold, pressure rig. And yeah, so I'm able to run 4 pressure cleaners full steam with retractable hose reels in and out, you know, so my guys can wash, you know, 6,000 square foot homes, you know, multiples of them in a day. Yeah, I mean, we can really move with it. Yeah.
So where do
I think about it, you go to wash something, You're right. You got to load the stuff into your truck, then take the stuff out, right? Set all your lines up. Now your lines are hooked and kinked. And I mean, it's just retarded, you know? So, but you got to, you got to build the right system. You got to have the right amount of pressure on there, and you could always dial it back, right? So you could always dial that pressure back. So you want to make sure if you're ever going to build something like that, you got to build it right. You got to put some thought into it.
Yeah. 500 gallons of water. That weighs a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's some weight. Some weight.
So you're driving to the job with 500 pounds.
500 gallons. That's a lot. No, it's like, I think a gallon is like 8.4 pounds.
Yeah.
So it's a lot. It's a lot of weight.
2,000 something. It's insane. Then you take water from the house to supplement, because your machines would go through 500 pounds of water. Like, are you using more than 500 gallons to wash a house?
It depends. It really depends. Probably not. I don't think we're using 500 gallons to wash. I mean, it depends how big the house is, but no. But we're like, the water, our truck will be filled there, and then we'll refill it at the person's house or come back to our shop. We also bring a pool truck of water to our roof jobs. If someone's on well, we come with our truck, 500 gallons of water. I mean, 8 out of 10 of our jobs here, these people are on well. We have a pool water truck parked there all day, and we pump the water from the pool truck into our tanks, and we use this guy JJ. He's got this little rig for us. I think he only uses it for us because it's at our job sites every day, and yeah, it's nice. It's a good setup.
Because you have, what do you say, 2 to 4 machines at 8 gallons per minute?
Something like that, yeah.
Like, a massive amount of water is being used at any one, per minute.
Sure.
And 4 gallons per minute out of somebody's hose off the house is not enough to.
No.
You'd be empty quick.
Yeah, I mean, we're running 4 washes on our roofs. You'll see it tomorrow.
Yeah.
So sometimes, the hose from the people's, house is in our tank. It might be in our tank, consistently.
Yeah. That's awesome. So,
and our tank probably tomorrow will be empty because we're driving so far. So
that's what I'm thinking. Like, you might need that wash truck, the pool guy.
We'll see.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that. I actually wanted to ask you if you would wash another house on the way. If the guys want to wash a house on the way home.
Ask them.
The house between our job site and home. Oh man, if they washed it, it'd be so much easier. I washed a deck today. I absolutely hate power washing. And
I don't mind it, actually.
So, when you have your setup, it's fine. But when you're getting the power washer and you're taking it off the truck and then you're walking over and hooking up your hoses, and it's such a pain in the butt to just go to your truck, take some reel off, and start going. Like, that's a completely different story.
So what I did for my backyard when I renovated my house, I put an electric pressure cleaner in my basement with an auto on-off switch to the gun. Okay, and I drilled a hole through my foundation with a retractable hose reel. So I have a pressure cleaner on my patio that sticks out that I can pull from a retractable hose reel and power wash my patio in 1 second by the gun.
That is insane. So you just pull the trigger and it's instant on.
Boom, done.
I was talking about that today. I was like, oh man, I want one of those electric ones. This is so heavy, loud. That's insane.
Yeah, it's cool.
And so you guys have been doing roofs for a long time now.
Yeah, it's a big business for us. I love it. I got a great crew, reliable, responsible. I really don't have to get involved with it. I sell roofs to my clients and stuff like that. But I don't go on any of the estimates or do any of that. Michael basically takes care of all that. Yeah. I like the business a lot.
I was at the house today, actually, that you guys did for us at the end of the year. And it looks like $1 million. The client was so happy.
Love it.
And that's where I want to get to, is where we can do them quick like that. When I do a roof right now, it's a
yeah, I mean, you'll see tomorrow. I mean, I don't know how big that house is, but I think you're going to be shocked how quick my guys do it.
Oh, I know I am. I mean, I know I am. It's going to be insane. So the roof gets washed. You're not using bleach, blah, blah, blah. It's clean. You let it dry for a while. What does the process of coating look like?
So we're rolling it. We've tried everything. Rolling's the best scenario. We roll it with Sherwin-Williams 6-inch microfiber. We have extended poles that we use, so the guys aren't like hunched over all day. So basically, they can stand straight up and roll the roof. Yeah, and that's what we're doing. We're rolling them out.
High quality content that you can have when we're done with that roof.
Yeah, I love it.
Because that's gonna be. I'm gonna see if I can like just keep batteries charged, and we'll do like a time lapse of a roof.
All right.
Batteries going. We'll keep the drone up, and we'll do a time lapse of a roof from the sky.
Cool. I love it.
Which would be pretty sick. So you guys are like soaking the product. Guys are going through gallons quick, going up and down, filling fives, rolling out of fives.
Yeah.
Just giving it as much.
I think the guys run 2.5 gallon buckets up there. And then we got one guy running up and down all day.
Just feeding them product.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm really excited about
those guys are moving quick. So like when they're going, they're not doing like one shingle at a time. I mean, they're moving. Basically we're trying to get line by line, on like 8-foot spans, and just, come right down.
And now you've recently switched your incentive program for them, right?
Yes. Yep.
So they get paid per job, correct?
Per job.
Even more incentive to crush.
Correct. Which
is once you, again, in the beginning, you can't pay per job because you don't even know if it's going to do well.
Yeah, and they're extremely happy, man. I mean, I didn't nickel and dime them. It's a lot of work. It's a hard job. But yeah, they're killing it, man. They really are. That crew is killing it. They're doing great.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. I think I'm going to start to see. Now you have painters doing it. I love the of like tree guys or roofers, people who are comfortable on the roof. I'm sure you could pay them more than they're making doing that.
Yeah, to a certain extent. The problem is, yes, they're comfortable on the roof, but I think it takes a certain somebody to be able to wash, those kind of elevations. I mean, the elevations of the roofs that we have, some of the roofs we have are, extremely difficult, right? You're up there with water and oil products, and, it really needs to be someone who understands coatings,
It's true. And you don't want to drop that bucket of stain off a 30-foot roof.
It's never happened to us. Can't believe it. It might have. I just don't know about it. But
yeah, I was going to say that had to have happened at least once.
I don't think it has. I really don't.
See, I think that's like a key. Like so much of the takeaway from what you're doing is like having unbelievable people in your organization. I watched your painters paint. When you have a team of awesome people, it's a lot easier to just paint, or like to see the way that you're able to just like you just do it. Like you surround yourself with people that which is something that I'm doing, and I think is really important. I worked for a lot of companies in the past where they're trying to find everybody on what they pay them, and you end up with people who suck and they need babysitting.
Right. I mean, look, I'm also not. I don't put what the guys make per hour. I don't deal with that. I'll make certain deals where I have to, but I don't get into the hourly rate with the guys at all. That's not in my my job description.
You're delegating to people and focusing on like what you need to do, and that's something I had to learn. I started out with just me, and the first people I hired were all horrible dopes. But because I didn't know how to hire, I didn't know what I was looking for. I sure didn't have any money to pay anybody. Didn't think I had any money. It costs you more to have shitty bad people, but
yeah.
It wasn't until the last 5 years where you start to find out. I didn't know that there was great human beings that were painters, but once you find out that there's awesome people who want to paint, magically you start to find more of them. And now I have this company of like amazing people that I can delegate things to, give responsibility to, and not have to know all the little details.
Sure.
I think that's
I mean, that's the end game, right? Unless you want to be a technician.
Yeah.
To be a paint technician. Right?
I don't want to do
I had no interest in being a painting technician. You know, so.
You got to find. We have a bunch of questions that I haven't gotten to.
Go ahead.
Telescoping, this is a random one. Telescoping wands. Any recommendations on brands? You're probably not the guy to ask that.
No, that's not my realm.
How about I have this? Are anybody else on your team on IG that people can follow?
Yeah, absolutely. Not for like paint wise though, but yeah.
Yeah, we got to get a couple Shoreline guys posting their work,
Posting their stuff.
Damn.
Yeah, maybe I'll set that up. Yeah, I see you doing that. You know, we've just, you know, we're definitely lacking in that. You know, without a doubt. I mean, I'm running our Instagram account. For me, I couldn't even get on live here. So like, you know, we're running our Instagram account. We have a whole, you know, website company that does, you know, our pay-per-click and all that stuff. But, you know, I actually personally like running the Instagram. I think I'm doing a pretty good job. I'm up to like 30 something.
The owner, or at least the salesperson to run the Instagram.
Yeah, and you know, I think you know, I get good content. The guys, you know, we have a Shoreline WhatsApp group, you know, and tons of content comes in there. And then when I'm on job sites, I'm always doing content. But you know, we need to get on like a steady regiment with it. I think a little bit better. But I think some of my guys that could have, if some of my guys could do that, I think you know, I think that we get a lot of good content from it.
Yeah, and they love it. They get to connect with the other painters. It's a great way to share information with people. You mix it in a drink?
I'm opening a bottle of wine.
There you go.
Yeah.
I found, I think all my people would agree, it's been valuable and very like fulfilling for them to be able to share their stuff. So you have some rock stars on your crew. I'd love to be able to have them get on there selfishly just so I can see what they're up to.
Sure.
It's been great for so many reasons.
Yeah, I watch Phil stuff all the time.
Yeah, it's the guy had a freaking camera hanging from a mini handle. It's insane. I walked in today and the freaking vent to get the shot, you know.
Good for him. I like it.
Totally.
We actually have a no cell phones policy, though, so that might be a problem. You know, when you got as many guys as I got, man, the cell phones is a problem. It's a big problem. You know, oh no, I was just doing this. It's tough.
Yeah, I think if you had an assistant that just followed you around, they could then take a lot of this stuff because it does need your input. Like it needs your voice.
Well, yeah. What I was saying, when we were talking the other day, you know, I think I might hire like a full-time person that just does that. You know, yeah. I think it's a great idea.
I say we're a content creating machine. Like as a company, like I just have people that I'm paying to do work that is unbelievable content. You are like 14 levels above me. The amount of like insane content that you are creating each day that goes unrecorded is mind-blowing.
Oh, it's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, I'm doing a sick exterior right now, and I've been there, you know, a bunch of times, but I haven't really got that good content, you know. And I mean, the house is sick. It's just, you know, if you had like some drone footage of it, and you know, it'd be unbelievable.
If you had somebody who was responsible to make the plan on how you would document that project, just spending 3 hours making a plan to then implement of how the documentation of that job would go. Like that's how we're thinking now. Like, okay, the next project's coming up. What are the things that we're going to do to highlight this project? Because,
I love it.
Like,
it's good.
It's part of the planning process is ordering the paint now. But that's going to lead us to the next project like that. It's going to, I mean, I talk on the phone with clients and they're going through my Instagram feed, looking at other projects, getting ideas. You know, it's a sales tool at the end of the day. So yeah, like we're definitely prioritizing how are we going to capture this stuff? Because once it's done, it's done. Like once you took that white primer, that gray primered wall, and sprayed maroon gloss on it, like you don't get to go back and record that again. But that maroon gloss being sprayed over a primed wall is gold.
Yeah.
Same with just watching, the time lapses you guys could do of just
see my TikTok videos. Those are pretty good, huh?
Exactly, man. Now again, it's not fair for you to add this to your it's a lot of time. But you could get a marketing person that if their job was social media, dude, it's gonna blow you up. It's insane. You're sitting on a gold mine of content.
Agreed.
And I'm just gonna keep poking you until something happens. But you get stuff done. So eventually one day you're just gonna have this like rock star person, and you're gonna be creating content that just amazes all of us, and we're all waiting for that day. All right, how about so we have some like standard. Oh no, I'm sorry. There's a bunch of questions that we didn't get to yet. A lot of people want to know about the gloss stuff. Actually, no, I guess we got all these questions. Jake Bresson asked, how do you install glass on a ceiling?
How do you install glass on a ceiling?
I think he's talking about your high gloss process, and being facetious there.
We went over that.
Yeah.
Did you miss that?
No, I think he's joking, saying it's
okay.
Glass. Best way for a homeowner to paint their cabinets.
Ooh, call Shoreline.
Yeah. Let's see. How about a DIY painting tip?
Oh man, don't use oil. If you do, just throw everything out. Right? Just bucket brush. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. I would say keep it simple. Latex. Yeah, I'd say keep it simple.
That's awesome. You're a bit removed from painting for the DIY stuff. That's out of your. Let's talk as much as you're comfortable. I'd love to hear a little bit. You like so casually dropped on high-end projects. Maybe we like buff and polish the gloss, but I know that was like a viciously kept secret for a long time, right? It's now kind of like, what do you
I think it still is. I mean,
okay.
I'll tell you what. I think there's 10 contractors that can buff that I know that can buff and polish oil paint. We're not talking about catalyzed lacquers and clear coats. We're talking about oil paint.
Yeah.
Okay. That's, try to buff a black oil wall, that was just painted, 4 days ago. Good luck. It's years. It's years. And it's for my detailing business. How far can you push paint till it curls? I used to wet sand Ferraris and, take them down and bring them back up to 8,000 grit and, buff and polish them. And, it's just, it's a different world. You got to know what you're doing, because you'll just destroy it. So, yeah, I mean, I would say, if you've never done that, don't try it, or don't try it on the job. You got years of trying to buff oil before, you'll be successful at it, in my opinion.
I agree. I was lucky enough to be in the same room as you and Jack Andrews discussing buffing. And
that's a painter. That's a painter.
Floated.
That's a painter right there, man.
That is a painter. Jack Andrews, saw him on here earlier. Jack is going to be on here. We call him the professor.
He's the best painter in the country, in my opinion.
I wouldn't argue that at all.
Yeah.
Jack is an unbelievable painter, unbelievable human.
It doesn't get much better than that.
Oh, you talk, and we're going to have him on, and people will hear. When you hear Jack Andrews talk about painting, he's
a painter, man. He's as good as he gets.
Yeah.
He's as good as he gets.
He studies it at its core, and he understands fundamentally. It's crazy. Every time I talk to him, you're just like,
yeah.
But I was in that room, and he had his buffing kit that he traveled across the country with. and we were at your shop, and what
Yeah.
started the words that were going, and it's like it is its own thing. And people do talk to me about buffing gloss, and we don't buff gloss. Like, we've obsessed on how to get it off the gun so that we don't have to, because it's so freaking hard to do.
Sure.
But yeah, everyone out there, go have fun.
Yeah.
What you can do.
Don't sell it.
Don't sell it, though. How you can do it. And don't expect much information to be shared. It'll be proprietary.
Yeah. Agreed.
And, you know, that's if you can crack that nut. The same goes for if you crack the nut of spraying Eco Brilliant and making it look like Holland Lag. That's another.
Again, very difficult. Very difficult.
But we do know Peter Bocan, and that man's been able to do some pretty amazing things with Eco.
I got a new sprayer that is actually my director of operations nephew. Great kid, love him to death. Getting really good with it, man. I mean, he's just, you know, he cares. He's practicing, you know. He showed me a sample he did for a client. I walked into the shop today, and, you know, he was just, you know, it looked great. You know, it wasn't perfect, but it looked great, you know, and he was just so proud of it, you know. Really, really getting far with it. So, you know, spraying the Eco, and he's doing really good.
Yeah, it's such a tough product, you know. It really, especially the Brilliant. Yeah, so you guys spray the 98 all the time.
Yeah, every day.
Do you know much about what they're doing to it to get it to work?
Yeah, yes and no. Yes and no. I think Antonio's got it dialed in. I mean, he has his own like rig that nobody can touch, you know. So he's got his own Kremlin rig that no one else touches. But yeah, I mean, you're talking like thinning wise, you know, PSI, all that. I think it depends. I think it all depends on the colors and everything like that. But I know we're thinning it a lot.
Because they have been with those the cratering and the bubbles.
Yeah, the 98 we're thinning less for sure.
Yeah.
Than the old stuff, but I mean, we're still thinning a lot. You know, maybe a little too much sometimes, I think. But you know, Zach, I'm at a point where I'm not gonna step on toes, really. You know,
You're an inspiration.
the finish looks good. I'm happy with it. You know, if I need to get called in for advice, which it happens, but I'm at a point now where you know, I don't really have to get involved with that.
Yeah, I like that. How about, what is your favorite piece of paint paraphernalia? Could be tool, equipment, paint, whatever. Like, what do you think of your favorite paint paraphernalia?
I gotta tell you, shout out to Fast Rack. Man, that Fast Rack stuff is incredible. That guy, I think that guy's got a gold mine. I hope someone buys him and he makes a killing, because, and hopefully his patents on all that stuff, because that's some of the best stuff. You know, it's incredible.
You see stuff built like that very often.
No, it's built really well, and it's just, you know, I mean, we needed something like that. I mean, you know, we're still hanging like with hangers and stuff like that, you know, but you know, his racking systems I love them. I think they're incredible. And then, you know, I think the Kremlin, I mean, listen, we've been spraying at a Kremlin for a long time, you know, a long time. And, yeah, I think they make the best machines. I think they make the best pumps. So I like their stuff. Yeah, I mean, I would say Fast Rack though. Fast Rack, I'm impressed every day when I see those doors spinning, and you know, it's just he's got a great system,
dude. And he's here listening. Like, I'm so happy you said that, because I feel exactly the same way. I mean, I post about it. People must think I'm like an employee of them. I don't know what I would do without it.
If you're not using two things, if you're not using Festool and you're not using Fast Rack, I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, those should be the first things you buy getting into the painting business. Festool machines, Festool vacuums and sanders, and fast rack equipment. I mean,
I think people, when Festool first came out, people thought the same thing. They were like, okay, that sander is $600, and I can go to Home Depot and get a $60 sander that's that's a 6-inch random orbit sander. And or same things with vacuums. It is a $600 vacuum versus a $80 shop vac.
Mm-hmm.
I think the same.
Everyone's hitting Merca.
Hey, Merca's good too. There's no question.
I got tons of Merca stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I from a scaled perspective, it's Festool. If you're scaling your company, if you're a 6-man company and you like Merca, God bless you. I mean, listen, I got Merca carts, I got Merca sanders in my sand rooms. We sand with Merca every day. But from a scaled perspective, from job sites, I mean, I have 30 Festools out there. They're awesome at if anything breaks, readily available. Right. So like you need a Festool sander, I'm all about training my guys on one thing. I don't want to be like, this is the Merca sanding team and this, so yeah, I like Festool. I think they're a good company. I think they make great sanders. Like the surf prep stuff too. We get a bunch of surf prep stuff. But from me scaling the company, I chose Festool.
I just bought ETS 150 3mm stroke today. I agree. I think some people are down here talking about Mercas. I think that if you are sanding for an hour, 2 hours a day, detailed sanding, Merca's better than Festool. It's a fire.
That's fair.
Wonderful. Very cool. Insane.
Great sandpaper. The Abernets and like their Abernet stuff. I mean, listen, I got it all. I got Merca's whole line. My guys are sanding
all day.
Right.
It's Festool, hands down.
Yeah, I agree.
You push a button and it runs constantly. I'm sorry. This it's tiring and you want to hold it like this or like this. When you have to hold that paddle down.
No, you're right. You're right.
It's great for doing detailed sanding.
Yeah, listen, we have in our sand room in our shop, we have everything. We have Merca, surf prep, Festool. We have the Merca cart with the vacs and everything. But yeah, I mean, our job sites are all Festool. Every one of our job sites, all Festool sanders, Festool vacs. I get good deals on it too. I like waiting for like the stuff that gets like doing the new products come out and everything. And I'm able to get some decent discounts on it. So.
And back to that analogy, I think that the Festool to the DeWalt random orbit is the same as like all of the rack systems out there to fast rack equipment. At first, when you see the price tag, I mean, I remember the first time I bought my first fast rack. The first time I saw it, I saw the prices, and I threw it away, and I was like, "That's not for me."
It's so funny, the consumer. I thought the exact opposite.
Really?
Yeah. I said, wow, this stuff is, I didn't say like it was astronomically expensive. Like I watched some of the stuff and I was like, this is incredible.
My perspective.
No, I get it. Yeah. Listen, it's not a cheap thing, but neither is a Wolf range,
Yeah.
So, but
also deal with doors that weigh a ton. Like you don't want to be just like picking up and moving around a 200-pound door. And that's where it's like the ability. Phil was moving those massive swing out doors today by himself. Like, what?
He's jacked.
It's because he's jacked. But that idea, because if you go look at rack system, and you could go to this other paint rack system and get a rack for a quarter of the price, half the price. You can go get door deckers I use forever. I have an arsenal of them. There's a use for those someplace. But the difference between a fast rack and those other racks, I'm so glad that you said that that's your favorite piece of paint paraphernalia. because I totally agree. All right, so our final question is because we could talk. We're gonna have you on again because I promised my wife I would stop these at 2 hours. So don't tell her I said that either. What's that?
Happy wife, happy life.
Yes. She's like, you could stop. She keeps pushing me to do an hour, and I'm like, I can't get it all in an hour. I have to do 2. So, but we'll bring you back because I think this has been awesome. But we need you to dig deep and tell us your most embarrassing story.
When me and you were talking about this yesterday, I've been thinking about that. I personally don't have one, but Shoreline does.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and I remember this distinctively. I was probably 12 years old, and my dad painted the wrong house. We were in Essex, Connecticut, where he had his restaurant. Client was away. You know, he got the job to go in and paint the house, so they were away for 2 weeks. He painted the neighbor's house, and ended up getting paid for the neighbor's house.
No way.
Yeah, and then painted the right house.
Because I painted the wrong house and didn't get paid.
Yeah. He got paid. That's the kind of guy he was, though.
That's.
But yeah, for me, I mean, I just, there was nothing that was, I thought hard about it. Like, there's just, yeah.
It's still awesome. I love that we have the same story. That was my most embarrassing moment. It's insane as it is. Sometimes you can paint the wrong house.
Yeah. No, he did. He definitely did. And yeah, he got paid for it, which was amazing.
All right. Well, hopefully you never have to top that. And
that's going to be tough to top, man.
It is. It is.
That's going to be tough to top.
Chris, thanks for coming on. I'm really excited. Tomorrow, everybody, you can watch. I'm going to be documenting Chris's cruise coming up to Rhode Island to wash a house for us. You guys should all follow Chris. Everyone start sending him DMs telling him that he needs to get a marketing assistant so that they can start producing a bunch of content. But seriously, dude, thanks for coming on.
You got it, man. It's been a pleasure.
Take it easy, buddy. Wow, that was awesome. Chris from Shoreline on a whole nother level. And he just talks about it like it's no big deal. And I know a lot of hard work and a lot of things got him to the point where he's just like, yeah, I sold $5 million this year, or, whatever. And I've talked to him a lot. The way you sell $5 million to 80% referral or repeat clients is developing relationships like we talk about all the time and maintaining them and producing. And I think the way you do that is having awesome people on your staff and on your team. So if you guys don't follow Chris, I encourage you all to go follow at Shoreline Painting. Getting to know Chris has been awesome. Every time I talk to him, I learn something. They're really inspirational. If you're in Connecticut, you should go check out his shop because you wouldn't believe that a paint contractor has a shop like that. I forgot to ask him that question. I did see that. Did he start off as a normal painter? Did he move to the high end? I don't know. We'll have to ask him that question next time he comes on. But yeah, thanks again, everybody, for coming on and watching this. The interns got the first one up on YouTube. So this is going to be up on YouTube soon. So go check us out, ZK Live on YouTube and ZK Live Clips. We also have ZK Painting that's going to be coming out soon, where we're going to start to put some videos together documenting our projects more in depth. And ZK Zen on YouTube is going to be our satisfying videos page. The interns are crushing it. They're working on all that stuff. Follow us on TikTok. TikTok is blowing up. And yeah, thanks for coming. We're going to be moving to 2 times a week. So I'm thinking Tuesday and Sunday nights. I got to spend some more time at home. This is taking up a lot more time than I thought, especially doing it at the shop. I may try to set up something at home so I can do it either way and not have to drive here just to record these. But I'm having a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoy it. Again, reach out with any types of questions that you have, suggestions for guests. I have a whole list of people, but if you know anybody else, I'm open to continuing to add to that list. But yeah, this was awesome. Thanks, guys.